420 Goody box. That was a great box for $1.99. That was a great box for $1.99, right? If they cancel your subscription when you ask them to cancel your subscription. But they didn't do that. No. And I got I've got the screenshot. I took screenshots of all conversation, the text messages and everything. And basically what happened was I went to cancel my subscription the day that my 420 Goody box showed up. And, I was perfectly candid and honest about that in the video. That was my full intentions the entire time, was to get that box for $1.99 and cancel. I explained why in that video and everything, because typically I don't think that 420 Goody box is worth the money. And they have always delivered, in my personal experience. I mean, to say that you got something in the mail. They didn't, take your money and then not send you anything at all, like some other companies have done in the past. But Mr. P back up in the hoose. Mr. P is back up in the hoose and they're going crazy. And he don't know what to think about that. But if the crowd will shut the fuck up. So I went to cancel my subscription. This was like 4 days before the 28th when they normally renew the subscriptions. But they've got it set up to where you have to send them a text message to get your subscription canceled. Like every other company in the world that does subscriptions, you just click a little thing. It's all automated. So when you go to, you click to unsubscribe, boom, you're unsubscribed, and they've got it set up to automate when you sign up for a subscription to bill you, but not to unsubscribe. So, and you shouldn't. You shouldn't. At least at this point, you damn sure shouldn't. They've shown that with this because, they got you. They tried to get you the same way that they tried to get me, and I finally got a message back about canceling my subscription the night before they were supposed to renew subscriptions on the evening of the 27th. And instead of saying, okay, we've canceled your subscription, they said, well, how about this? Reply with 1 if you want to get 10% off your box or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Keep your subscription. And reply 2 if you still want to cancel. So I replied 2. And I'll show you that text message here in a couple minutes. But, so I replied 2. I said, no, please go ahead and cancel. Luckily, I had the foresight in mind because, I'm a prophesier or whatever. Not really, but, I've been around for a minute. So, I know a few things. And so I went on to PayPal and I locked down my debit card. So if they tried to charge me, the payment would get declined. And sure enough, the 28th, that morning or afternoon or something, I got a message both from PayPal and from 420 Goody Box saying, hey, your transaction was declined. So they tried to renew my subscription. So I messaged them back. I said, I told you cancel. Why the hell did you just try to charge me? Then later that night, I finally got another message in them saying, oh, we're sorry to see you go. And so, they went ahead and finally canceled it. But then I talked to you about you and those other couple people who basically they did the same fucking thing to. They basically did the same fucking thing. So if anybody from 420 Goody Box happens to watch this, and I'm actually going to record, I'm recording this right now as we're streaming, because I'm probably going to clip this out and post this up separate, because, people need to be aware of this kind of shit. If, 420 Goody Box, if you can't automate the way you cancel your subscriptions, then get the fuck out of the subscription game. You can't do that to consumers. You can't do that. We will not allow that kind of shit. That is totally unexcusable. When I was planning to do the best of, worst of boxes, 100, 420 Goody Box was going to be very low on that list in the category of boxes that I don't recommend. But after this, you're on the list. You're on the dishonorable mentions list. You're on the dishonorable mentions list along with some other places that actually most of these places don't exist anymore, like Horror Block and Terror Treasures and Big Ol' Boxes of Nothing. Loot Crate is also on that dishonorable mentions list for similar reasons, except that they went over a year without delivering anything at all. But it's fucked. 420 Goody Box is probably the only box now for the dishonorable mentions list that actually did deliver a product. Or they're not on that list for not delivering a product. I want you guys to know that if you're going to get a box, I want you to know which ones are the good ones. Which ones can you trust? And there's not many of them out there. Spoiler alert, if you watch the channel, who the ones I trust are. And that's Don't Eat the Gum and Fat Ass Glass. Those are my top two. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Elevated Stash has been awesome, which is why I'm still with them. Hippie Butler was great until all the ceramic pipe bullshit. But, you really do have to be careful out there. The mystery box game is full of pain and pleasure. The mystery box game is full of pain and pleasure, and there's more pain out there than there is pleasure, because there's even a lot of the boxes that are pretty trustworthy and always deliver a product and everything. A lot of times we'll deliver some really shoddy boxes, Up until recently, that was how I looked at 420 Goody Box. I didn't really trust them per se, but, I just felt like, it was just that most of their boxes were pretty shoddy, and that Camper's box was just total bullshit. But, we won't rant about that again today. And maybe again in the best of, worst of boxes, because obviously now we got to talk about 420 Goody Box for that video. And it's not pretty, obviously, but, up until this, it was all because of shoddy boxes. It was just way more misses than hits. And, and 420 Goody Box isn't really a great $30 value. I mean, this box was pretty good, was pretty decent for the $30, because, just for the tray and the pipe, that was good for $30. That was fine. That was perfectly acceptable. Both things would have caught my eye in a head shop. And, but there is better values out there. Look at the $25 flower box that we did. Well, the $25 dab rig box too that we did from Fat Ass Glass. It wasn't a themed thing or anything like that. But if you have a certain type of theme, Andrew will be happy to fill that out for you if he can. You know, he replied to one of the videos that I did for them that was, you know, basically he just said, you know, excuse me, customizing the boxes really makes his job easier because that's the best way to keep the customer happy. Ask them what they want and give them what they want, you know? And that's what he does. And, you know, it's beautiful. That's beautiful. So I'm not going to continue to rant and make this entire live stream about the 420 shitty box, but, you know, we'll just drop it at, you know, you made the list, the list of the fat guys or whatever, you know, whatever Jericho said. So, you know, if you want my recommendations, I mean, at the end of the day, you can do what you want. I know there are people that watch my videos that loved the 420 Goody box, and, you know, that's fine. Different strokes for different folks. One man's trash is another man's treasure, as they say. But if you want my recommendations, especially after this subscription canceling fiasco, my recommendation would be stay the fuck away from the 420 Goody box. Bye. Words to live by.